idea that I was finally going to be getting married? Isn't it just so exciting? I can't believe that it's finally happening. And the man is super-duper rich, too. It's perfect. It's just the way that I've always wanted to get married. Too bad a sad, boring, pathetic loser like you could never even dream of achieving something like this in your entire life. So that's why I thought I would tell you.
Wait a second. Is this Lucy? I can't even remember the last time that you and I talked. And just why in the world are you messaging me about this right now?
What do you mean, why? Did you not read any of the messages that I just sent to you? Are you stupid or something? I am messaging you to let you know that I'm getting married. Isn't that obvious? And just what is with that attitude that you're taking with me, huh? You ought to be much more grateful that I'm even deigning to message someone like you in the first place. Honestly, I show you all of this kindness and consideration, and this is how you show your gratitude to me. You really do have a lot of nerve, do you know that?
Literally, what in the world are you talking about? What part of any of this conversation is you being kind to me? Anyways, message received. I know you're getting married. Congrats, or whatever.
You know, you really are starting to piss me off with this crappy attitude of yours. I expected you to be happy for me. You should be much more cheery and excited that I'm finally getting married.
Well, I really just don't know what you want me to say to that. I mean, we aren't in high school anymore, you know? So if you're just hoping to message me out of the blue like this after all this time and expect me to pretend to be happy for you, well, it's just not going to happen. Now, is there anything else that I can do for you, or are we done here?
Well, you should just know that you weren't even invited to my wedding anyways. So there.
Okay, that is just fine for me. Thanks for letting me know officially, though. I appreciate that.
I mean, did you really think that I was going to let some weirdo, a little shut-in nobody like you into my amazing wedding? Yeah, a fat chance. After all, I know that you came to our high school reunion when we had it not that long ago. You really think that you can brag to everyone just because you got to go to college? Well, nobody even cares.
I wasn't bragging to anyone about going to college, but also I graduated a long time ago. You realize it's been years since we talked, right? And I never really expected you to even invite me to your wedding in the first place, so none of this really comes as a surprise. In fact, if that's all you came to tell me, I really don't think that we even had to have this conversation in the first place anyways.
Well, you should also know that I'm going to be inviting everyone from high school to my wedding, and that's why I had to reach out to you to let you know that you can't come. You and all your weirdo little friends aren't going to be invited to what is surely going to be the wedding of the century.
Yeah, again, you really didn't need to tell me any of this because I already wasn't planning on going, nor was I even expecting an invitation in the first place. I wouldn't even want to go if you did invite me. You literally could have just not texted me anything at all and the outcome would have still been the exact same.
Well, I just wanted to let you know so that you wouldn't come begging to me later to invite you too when you found out about everyone who would be going. But the answer is no. It just isn't going to happen. I'm not even going to think about having to deal with a gross dumb loser like you on my big day.
Lucy, are you even reading any of these messages that I'm sending you at all right now? I don't want to be invited. I don't want to go. I didn't even want to know that you were getting married in the first place. But what did I expect from you? It's clear that you haven't changed at all in all this time. But can you just please stop messaging me? You're really annoying, and it bugs me. I mean, we weren't even friends to begin with, so there really is no need for us to be talking to each other now that we're adults and so far removed from high school.
There you go again, trying to brag about how you think that you're so much better than everyone. You think you're better than me just because you went to college? I know that isn't it at all. You're just scared to even have to think about reliving our days in high school. That's why after you graduated, you even had to move states just to get away from me. And I stayed home and never left, because everyone knew that I was the prom queen, and that I would always be the prom queen for all of time there. That's why you left.
I was not running away from you or high school, Lucy. If you think that's what I was doing, that says more about you than it does me. I left the state because I got a scholarship at the college that I went to. And besides, plenty of people moved away after graduating. But you should know that I'm really not the same person that I was when we were still in high school. But there hasn't ever been even a single day where I ever thought about wanting to see you again. So anyways, congrats on your wedding. I'm sure that you're very happy to be doing it. But you should know that you have nothing to worry about because I won't be going.
Hey Rachel, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm engaged. I guess maybe Mom might have sent you a message about that or something. But I also wanted a chance to tell you myself. So that's the big news.
Mom did tell me about that already, but I'm still so excited for you. That really is just the most amazing news, Eric. And I also just wanted to say that I really am sorry that I wasn't able to meet the lucky lady when you brought her to Mom and Dad's house.
Oh, it's okay. I know that you're really busy with, well, basically everything, right? Besides, there's nothing wrong with just meeting her at my wedding.
Well, I really am looking forward to it. I still just can't believe that you're going to be getting married.
I know, right? Anyways, I've sent out the wedding invitation soon, so that should tell you all the details that you need to know. And then all you have to do is RSVP.
Well, I'll just keep my eyes peeled for it then. Actually, I think the mailman already dropped off stuff, so maybe I'll go and check my mailbox now.
For sure. Just let me know when it all arrives for you. And there's actually something else that I kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Your invitation did come! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! I can't wait to open it and see what it looks like! And yeah, of course, you know that you can talk to me about anything. What's up?
Well, the thing is that the person I'm going to marry was someone you went to high school with.
Oh, really? Well, that's kind of a small world moment, isn't it? I wonder who it could be.
Well, I think it was actually a girl from your same year. Because she's the same age that you are, now that I think about it. So I think there's a chance that you might know her.
Well, I just opened up the wedding invitation, and yes, I think it is safe to say that I do know who this person is.
Ah, I thought so. So you recognize the face and name from when you were a student in high school?
I do, yes. But have you told your fiancé that I am who I am? Does she know all that much about me?
Well, no, not exactly. I've dropped hints, but I haven't right out told her exactly who you are. I mean, I remember you didn't really have a good time at all in high school, and so anyways, I just wanted to give you a little forewarning about who I was going to be marrying. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't someone that you had some kind of huge problem with back then, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Eric, I really appreciate how thoughtful you're being with this, but I want my high school days to not affect your wedding at all. To answer your question, however, I do know who this person is. We were in the same year through all of high school and had plenty of classes together.
Oh really? So then it's not just another student, but someone you actually used to know pretty well then, is that right? Sometimes, the world really is just a bit too small, isn't it?
You really don't even know the half of it. Actually, it might just be better if you and I could talk a bit more about this in person.
Oh, really? You mean like go meet at a cafe or something like that? Is that alright? It seems a bit unlike you since you're always so busy.
I know, but I really do want to be there to help you celebrate your wedding, so I just think it might be best to talk about this.
Well, okay then. If you really think this is worth having a conversation about, I'll make some time in my schedule, and we'll try and find a time soon to talk about this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll send you some times that work for me, and you can tell me if any of them work for you. And I really am happy that you're getting married and that you're happy with the woman you're with. I'm looking forward to being there for you.
Excuse me, but what in the hell do you think you're doing at my wedding? How did an ugly, creepy little loser like you manage to sneak your way in here, huh? Don't you realize that you're just being an eyesore for everyone here? You're ruining the whole mood of my special day right now.
Do you even realize what you've done? You really have no idea just how much trouble you're about to be in.
I should be saying the same thing about you right now. Now, I want to know how you managed to sneak your way in here and why nobody stopped you at the door. Don't they let people at the front know that you're not invited? Your name shouldn't have been on a list anywhere, and yet you managed to break in here.
I really think that you don't know what you're talking about at all right now. I mean, I didn't sneak in here, if you must know. But more importantly, I want to know why you thought it was okay to throw your glass of red wine all over my dress. I got dressed up and came here to help celebrate this wedding, and you went and did this to me. What is your problem? Why do you always have to act like this?
You know exactly why I had to do what I did to you. You really think that I'm going to let some loser from my high school days try and ruin my wedding like this? Of course you snuck in! I know for a fact that I told you not to show up here, and yet you had the audacity to show your face. I told you that I didn't want to see you or any of your weird, nerdy little friends at my wedding. Everyone else from high school was supposed to be here, but you! Or do you just hate me so much that you wanted to ruin my big day? Do you want me to hate you even more now?
Again, I really think that you're not getting the whole picture. You're missing a lot of information. It's going to go bad for you.
And just what do you know that I don't about my own damn wedding, huh? You're nothing but an annoying, condescending loser. And now you've gone and completely ruined the mood of what was supposed to be my big perfect day. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life since senior prom. But no, you had to be the lame little creep that you are and show up where you aren't even wanted and weren't even invited.
And I am telling you that you are wrong about that. You don't know what you're talking about. You jumped to conclusions. You threw the wine and you ruined the mood. Not only that, but despite all of this being your own fault, you haven't even apologized to me once.
Apologize? You want me to apologize to you? You want the bride to apologize to some unwanted guest on the day of her wedding? You must really think the world revolves around you, huh? Well, if you're waiting for me to say that I'm sorry, you'll be waiting a long time. Besides, I was the one who told you not to show up to my wedding in the first place, remember?
And that's why you were trying to bully me out of your wedding? To make me go away? That's why you threw wine on my dress.
Of course. It's clear to me that my words weren't enough to get the message through to you. So I had to take more drastic steps. I just hope that you finally learned your lesson about doing what I say. Now get out of here and never come back again.
All right then. But I guess you'll just have to explain to your husband-to-be why his sister isn't at his wedding.
What are you even talking about this time? Huh?
No, don't let me take up any more of your time. I'll do just as you say and go away. You can tell where I'm not wanted. But I just want you to know that you're probably going to regret this. Of course, when you do finally get punished for all of this, you'll have no one else to blame but yourself. What is the matter with you, Lucy? Can you please stop blowing up my phone like this? You're being so obnoxious and creepy right now. I mean, you must have left at least 300 text messages and missed calls on my phone.
You think I'm being annoying now? You haven't seen anything yet. But I want to know what you think you're doing right now! The wedding is about to start and things are falling apart really, really quickly!
And just why do you think any of that is my fault? Unless this is your way of saying that you finally figured out who I am.
So then it's true. Everything that people have been telling me about you since I made you leave is all really the truth.
You mean the fact that I'm Eric's little sister? Yes, if that's what you heard, then that much is the truth.
But, I mean, this can't be right. I mean, I know that Eric has a younger sister, but he never told me all that much about her. Please tell me that you're kidding me, right? I mean, you're really his little sister. Oh, that can't be. This can't be happening.
Well, I already tried to warn you that you were missing some very important information before you tried kicking me out. Although, to be fair, I really have no idea what my older brother is doing marrying a woman like you.
This doesn't make any sense at all, though. I mean, how can you two be related when you're so far apart in age? I really had no idea that your older brother was, well, so much older than you.
You're right about that. We do have about an 8-year gap in between the two of us. But that still doesn't answer what I want to know. Just how in the world did you fool my little brother into wanting to marry you? That's what I can't understand.
I didn't trick him at all! How dare you even try to insinuate that about us?
Oh, really? Because I don't think that you've been telling my brother about who you really are as a person.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? You think you know who I am better than I do?
Oh, I think I know exactly the kind of person that you really are. I have more than enough memories of high school to back those thoughts up as well.
Wait a second. You haven't told your brother about the kind of things that I would do to you in high school, have you?
No, I haven't told Eric about all the ways that you used to bully me. Yet. It's clear that my brother must have some kind of true feelings for you, so I haven't decided whether or not to tell him the whole truth yet. And if you really do want to know, I'm leaning towards not telling him anything. What happened in the past was between us, and it really isn't any of his business.
That's right. It is none of his business, and it's just between you and I. So why don't you just keep your big trap shut?
Oh, trust me, I'm not going to tell him a word at all. But I really don't think that's going to make a difference for you at all.
And just what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's not going to make a difference?
I mean, just think about it. Think about what you did to me, and I really don't think I need to go that much deeper. Either way, I don't think it's going to make any difference now. But just don't say that I didn't warn you.
Warn me? Warn me about what? There's nothing to warn me about, and you aren't going to get in the way of me being with Eric.
You know, when Eric first told me that he was going to be getting married and I looked at the invitation, I have to say that I was honestly surprised to see that he was going to be marrying you. I thought to myself that surely this was proof that the universe did have a sense of humor and that it was a dark one.
Well, if you were surprised, then so was I. I had no idea that marrying would have to mean that I would be gaining such a terrible little sister-in-law. I have no idea how I'm even supposed to be enjoying being married when I only have the full picture now.
Well, then it sounds to me like you really don't know my brother all that well at all.
You really are just full of presumptions, aren't you? Who do you think you are to tell me that I don't know the man that I'm about to marry, huh? You really need to watch the way that you talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, you got married to him without even knowing that he had a sister who was me. It just makes me wonder what else you don't know and if you're going to regret what you've done.
Regret? There's nothing to even regret. Everything is going to be just fine and nothing you can do is going to change that.
I see. And just how do you think that you're going to get along being part of the family with my parents and I then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? Why should I care at all about you or your cruddy family?
Well, you do realize that now that the two of you are going to be getting married to each other, that this means that you and I are going to be seeing a lot more of each other from now on. You can only try and avoid me for so long. But sooner or later, the issues between us are going to come to head. So why don't we just talk them out now and get this over with?
Wait a second. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I don't remember you being like this from high school. You were such a pushover who let me do whatever I wanted to her. Oh, but surely we can patch this right up. We can go back to being the way that we used to be. We were friends, remember? I was in charge and you did whatever I said.
Friends? Is that how you remember it? You really think that we were friends in high school?
Of course we were. We were always friends, remember? So let's just make up and forget all about the past and look forward to the future, okay? We can just let bygones be bygones and forget all about whatever we might remember about each other from back then.
I'm sorry, but that is not going to happen for me. I can't just let what you did to me go, and I don't think that my brother or my family is going to either. I'm not going to tell them about our past, but I am going to make sure that they know what you've done to me today.
Oh, come on. You don't have to go and do that. You're taking this whole thing way too far right now, don't you think? It was just a little bit of wine that I splashed on you anyways. You're not actually that upset about it, are you? I barely even did anything. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do to make you hate me like this?
You have done so much that to list it all right here would take too long, and I don't care to type out the essay of things that you put me through back then. But if you really want people to know about our past, how about I go and tell my family about the time that you poured hot oil on me when we were in home ec class? Do you have any idea how much pain I was in when you did that? I never told them who it was at school who did that to me. But I'm sure that my family would just love to know who it was.
No, wait. Please don't do this. You said you weren't going to tell anyone about anything that happened between us in high school. Don't you want your brother to be happy with me? If you care about him at all, then you can't tell him about us.
But I thought that we were friends. You mean you don't want me to tell him about how close you and I used to be? Just what do you want me to do in a situation like this, then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean, what do I want you to do?
I mean that you kicked me out of your wedding because you thought I was still the loser you remember from high school. And now you need my help. I know that things are falling apart over there for you, and I'm the only one who can explain things to my brother. But if I talk to him, I'm only going to tell him the truth.
Please, whatever you do, don't tell your brother about the wine. I'm begging you just to come back and set this all right. I promise that I won't do anything else to you. Just please don't say a word about how you and I used to be like that in high school to everyone, okay?
You know what? I think I've changed my mind about all of this. At first, I was going to try and let everything go and not say a word to anyone. But after all of this dredging up old memories that you've done, I think I've changed my mind. But you know what the saddest thing is? I knew that you were going to try and do something like this to me if I came today.
Please, just don't say anything to anyone. I'm begging you here. What do you want? Is it money? If it's money you want, then I can give you however much if that's what you want. Just please don't do this to me.
And just why do you think that I would want any money from you? Besides, what would even be the point in taking money from someone like you in the first place?
Rachel, please, this is my wedding day. I've been looking forward to this for so long. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life.
And I think it might have been too if I chose to just let all of this go. But now you're trying to get away with acting like a child, and on top of that, you still expect me not to tell my brother anything. Well, the only one who is going to be able to let all of this go now is my brother. Your fate is already out of my hands. I've already told him everything.
Wait a second, are you serious? Did you really tell your brother everything, even though I was still begging you not to? Why would you do that? Did you send the message just now? Can't you unsend everything? Please, I'm begging you!
You really are starting to get on my nerves now. Do you know that? I wish you'd just shut up and leave me alone already. If you're upset about what's happening right now, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. You did this to me, and now you're begging me to make you take responsibility for your actions. Well, now, I have been patient and passive and a victim long enough. I'm not going to stand for that awful behavior anymore.
Are you really this mad at me just because of a little wine that I threw on you? Isn't this taking things just a bit too far? I'll apologize to you if that's what you want. Just please, don't try and ruin my marriage with your brother. He's everything that I've ever wanted.
And by that, you mean rich enough to make it so that you'd never have to work another day in your life. Isn't that right? I know that you're unemployed after all.
What? Who told you that? How did you find out that I didn't have a job?
Well, my husband told me about it, of course.
Wait a second. Husband? You're married? I didn't know that.
Well, I am. And if you want another big surprise, I'm married to someone else that we used to have classes with. You remember Logan from algebra class? We had other classes with him too, but that was the one that the three of us had together. Well, he actually ended up going to the same college as me, and we started dating while we were there. Of course, when we got married, we both agreed that we didn't want you or any of the other horrible bullies that you hung out with to be there. Anyways, now that I've said that, I'm going to have a chat with my brother. After that, I called Eric and explained to him what Lucy did. Then I told him about how I didn't want to tell him about Lucy and I's past at first, but that after this incident, I thought he had a right to know. Needless to say, the wedding was not to be. Eric stormed into the main hall where the wedding was supposed to happen and apologized to everyone, but said that he couldn't marry Lucy because of what she did to me. Everyone turned to stare at her, and she was so humiliated that she ran out of the room. Lucy's parents went to talk to Eric, who explained to them everything that had happened between her and I. They apologized profusely and said that they would pay for all the decorations and reservations for the wedding that wasn't to be. I heard that after that, Lucy became a shut-in who barely left her home at all. Eric was also sad from all of this, but he told me he was just happy that he didn't end up married to someone who had and would continue to hurt his family.